Wow, Erika, season 4. Can you believe we've been around for 4 seasons now?
4 seasons of fun, laughter, and really cool guests.
I know. This is our second actual season of videos. How are you? I'm liking it. I love
Yeah.
it.
I'm loving it. I think
Mhm.
that it's still awesome to have like the record only too option if you're in the
Mhm.
car, you want to listen on the go, but if you want to get that more personal feel and like tune in, see who we're talking to,
Mhm.
you're hanging out with us. It's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of us, most of you all are probably like, who are these people and why are they coming up on Simply Cyber's channel? So before we dive in, I feel like it might be appropriate for us to take a couple of minutes and tell you who are the two cyber chicks. So Erika, would you like to kick it off? Tell about like who are the two cyber chicks and then a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I would love to. So two cyber chicks. You got one cyber chick here, Erika McDuffie, and you've got two cyber chicks. We got Jacqueline, aka Jax Scott. Um, I definitely think we need to do some reintroductions here. Some of you have been following us for a while. Some of you may be new here. We're so happy to have you, making new friends every day. I have been in the consulting cybersecurity space for over a decade now. I primarily fall into the audit assurance, that IT audit space. That's really where my bread and butter lies. I've worked in spaces like healthcare, to tech, to fintech, wide area of experience. I've worked for CPA firms, cybersecurity consulting firms. Consultancy is definitely my niche area. Love interacting with customers, love education, mentorship, and honestly, just love this community. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a first generation Colombian, I would say American as well. Bilingual. English is my second language. And I live in the South 20 years now. So I also
Mhm.
claim this as home.
I love that. Oh, I love that. And myself, I am a consultant right now. I'm about to hit that 2-year mark, which, if anybody knows anything about consulting, that's like a lifetime in this industry for real. Before consulting, though, I worked a few different things. So I got into IT through the military and I started doing the typical help desk. I was actually setting up network infrastructures in the middle of like fields. So that was kind of my background. And then through that, I had a very unconventional way into cybersecurity. I got into intelligence. I started serving in the special ops. From there, I then started doing strategic cyber operations. And that led me into roughly around 2019. I got into cyber threat intel, which I didn't even know was a field, and I loved it. I did that for a few years with a fintech, a few other companies. And then I just had this like desire to get into consulting. And right before I got my consulting job, I heard about the cybersecurity maturity model certification, CMMC. And that was kind of my doorway in. And ever since then, that's been about 3 years since like the CMMC like inception, kind of three to 4 years ago. I've been doing GRC ever since then, got my master's in it. And I absolutely love what I do. I love being able to help organizations become more risk adverse and being able to not only understand their risk, but be able to communicate it to them in a way that they understand the business impact. So that's what I do. As far as two cyber chicks, and us coming over here, we were actually with ITSP magazine. So thank you, Marco and Sean, who are the founders over there, for believing this podcast. It really has grown and matured. And when Jerry actually approached Erika during this last year, so 2023's Wild West Hacking Fest, in a casual conversation, brought up the suggestion and idea of us coming on board with Simply Cyber. And I would love, Erika, if you could like share some of that discussion that you had, and then our thoughts on like why we thought two cyber chicks should come over and be part of the Simply Cyber community.
Yeah, so Gerald Osier, I mean, one of our dear friends, just has created this beautiful space, this community that where you guys are hanging out right now. such an inclusive community that really we feel like we've been a part of for years now. When Jerry brought up the idea of bringing the show on his channel, it really spoke to us in volumes, because this is everything that we believe in terms of giving back to the community and creating this inclusive community where people of all walks of life are welcome, whether you're a student, whether you're new, whether you're transitioning into the space, or whether you've been here for 20 years, right? Like, everybody's welcome, technical, non-technical, mix of everybody. I love seeing and interacting with the community. If you've met some of us in real life, like, you see that we're friends in real life too. And it's such a unique experience. So, long story short, when Jerry proposed this to us, it was just like a no-brainer. Jax and I were like, this is alignment. Makes sense. Let's continue to bring awesome educational content. Let's demystify cybersecurity. Let's have modern conversations around cybersecurity, what it entails, and let's just continue to talk about it in a more open fashion.
Yeah, I agree on all of those things. As soon as we found out like Jerry was considering it, this just seemed like the best alignment. And Eric and I were already starting to consider like branching out on our own, maybe start our own YouTube channel. And so more to follow on all of that. But right now, this is our home. We are thrilled to be here. With that said, we'd like to share with you our thoughts as far as show tempo and kind of because Eric and I are very busy in the consulting world, but we also know how important it is to be consistent and be there for our community. So we want to do a tempo that we can sustain. And through the years, we used to do one episode a week, but that was very hard for us to be able to balance our work schedules. So something that Eric and I started doing last year, and it really worked for us, is that we will come and we will provide you biweekly shows. Our shows typically run for 4 months. So they'll start in February and that'll run us to about June, July, roughly. And then we take a mental health break. So we take about 2 months off and then we kick it off again for another 4 months running every week. So it gives you that time to enjoy our shows and get to know us, but it also allows us that time to have downtime for creative juices to be able to come back stronger for season 5 coming up. So expect that to be kicking off very soon. You guys should be seeing that, and then we'll be really consistent. And we've never missed an episode. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, no, and I'd even add, if we want to continue to make like these conversations meaningful, so we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. What kind of topics do you care about? What's relevant to you today? What kind of guests do you want to hear from on the show? As we're booking out our next season already, we would love that feedback. So you can always reach out to Jax or myself on LinkedIn. Also, feel free to email us directly at that's the number 2, cyberchicks@gmail.com. We want to hear from you.
And I have to add one more plug before we wrap up here. If you see all this amazing graphic and you just saw that amazing intro and you're about to see an amazing outro and all of the things, we could not have done it without Kimberly. So Kimberly, thank you. You are an amazing human being. And you just, not only are you amazing at what you do, because you're just awesome at all of this, like graphics and everything, but you're an amazing human with such a great heart.
We are so grateful for you.
Yes. That is it. All right. Well, we will see you on the next show.
See you next time.